Today's video is all about my summer beauty essentials across body care, skincare, perfume, and makeup. I'm going to share, why the formulas are so great for the warmer months. Either maybe it's something more long wearing, something more lightweight, more skin-like, or colors that just more align with my preferences this time of year. And for a few of them, I'm going to share which products I'm swapping out and what products I'm swapping in. And the first is the product that inspired this video because it's in partnership with Innbeauty Project. They have a new launch and it is perfect for the spring and summer months. To be honest, I don't usually like leave-on products that are a chemical exfoliant, which is what this is. It's the Bright and Smooth 7% AHA and BHA body serum. Normally, these kinds of products don't really work for me because I've tried them in the past and it just stings the hell out of my skin. I have very sensitive skin, and that stinging feeling is just something I don't like, but I just don't find that those actually help with my KP. This actually really blew my mind. Before getting into the pricing and the ingredients and all that, I just want to share my results. I've started developing KP on a daily basis. Normally, I use body scrubs for that, but that was not doing anything. None of the body scrubs were working. So Innbeauty launched this just in time. I feel like they created this for me. Surprisingly, even though this is 7% AHA and BHA, it doesn't sting me at all unless I put it on an area that has active eczema. But on my KP, this is absolutely incredible. I've now gotten to the point where I wear this every single night when I go to bed. I just put it on my arms and my back, and it makes me wake up with soft, smooth skin. I've noticed that I have less breakouts on my back. It is something I struggle with a little bit. It's just a couple little bumps on my back in the summertime, and I'm not having that right now, and I'm really impressed. This is also really good if you use self-tanning products. So the night before you self-tan, apply this on your body and you wake up with really smooth, soft skin, and your self-tanner is going to go on more evenly. This has 5% vitamin C and tranexamic acid and kojic acid, which are supposed to help with dark spots and hyperpigmentation. It also has 3% niacinamide, which can help support your skin tone as well as the moisture barrier. And most importantly for me, it has a blend of AHA and BHA at 7%, which exfoliates the skin and helps clear congested pores. It also has an ingredient 1% papain, P-A-P-A-I-N. I'm not familiar with that ingredient, but it is supposed to smooth rough, bumpy textured skin. And you apply it on your skin and it doesn't have any type of greasy residue. It's just really soft, smooth, satiny. Feels like a really lightweight lotion to me. The third way that I like to use this product is on my hands, actually. I've noticed that my hands get a lot of sun damage. They're starting to look a little bit aged. They have some dark spots, and I've been wanting a hand treatment for a while, and I just figured this is gonna be the perfect thing because it's gonna help with the niacinamide, with the blend of the AHA and BHA, with the vitamin C, kojic acid, and the tranexamic acid. All of that is going to help also to make my hands look a little bit better. So lots of ways you can use this, and I'm really loving it. And thank you Innbeauty for the continued partnership. If you want, you can always get 15% off Innbeauty with my code KATE15, spelled K-A-I-T 15. It's not an affiliate code, so I don't earn any commission from it or anything like that. It's simply there to help you guys out. If you do want to help me out, I have my affiliate links below, and you can click those before making a purchase, and I'll receive a little bit of commission. But that promo code is just there for you to use. The next skincare product I love in the spring and summer months has been a somewhat new addition in my routine. This is the Peach Slices Snail Rescue All-in-One Oil-Free Moisturizer with 95% snail mucin concentrate. This is super duper lightweight and gentle. It almost feels like water on the skin. I'll show you. So very, very juicy, very lightweight, super watery, runny texture. Look at that. It looks like water on the skin, but it's actually a moisturizer. Now, I have dehydrated skin, so you would think that this would just be way too lightweight for me. And it's really interesting. It's so lightweight, it's so watery, but something about it, I think because of that snail mucin concentrate, it just plumps the skin and it feels really soft. Somehow, even though this is the most lightweight moisturizer I've ever tried in my life, it just still leaves the skin feeling soft. I don't feel like I need anything else on top. On some days I do, on some days I do need a little bit more, but I'm really loving this. I also hear that snail mucin concentrate can like very slightly exfoliate the skin while also hydrating. So I think that this is fantastic. It's also got Centella asiatica, some skin soothing ingredients, alcohol-free, fragrance-free, cruelty-free, silicone-free. So really nice product if you are looking for a lightweight moisturizer. The next skincare item is this Amavara sunscreen. I've never heard anyone talk about this. I found it because I was just browsing stuff on Amazon. And normally in the fall and winter months, I will be wearing my Paula's Choice Super Light Daily Wrinkle Defense. And this is what I wear under makeup every single day, including in the spring and summer months. So this is still my favorite daily sunscreen. Nothing looks better under makeup than this sunscreen. It's beautiful as a primer. It just makes the makeup go on really soft and gorgeous. It's a soft matte finish, but it doesn't feel feel drying on the skin. It's really lightweight. So I love this year round. But when I'm outside in the spring and summer months, there's so much more sun exposure that I'm getting. Even if you're not in direct sunlight, if it's just bright outside, you're gonna be getting sun exposure from those rays. Even if you're not in direct sunlight, which is crazy, but it's true. So since this is an SPF 30, in the warmer months, I do like to bump it up to an SPF 50. You're either gonna love this or you're gonna hate it. This is the Amavara Reef Safe SPF 50 UVA UVB. Okay, it has a really long name. Anyways, it's water resistant for 80 minutes. It has 22.5% zinc oxide, which is a lot. It also has a pretty strong tint to it. It has iron oxides, which is great for me because iron oxides are what really help protect your skin from sun damage. And iron oxides are the things that tint products, like they tint foundation or concealer, or they tint sunscreens. And the tint on this matches me perfectly. It's just the ultimate protector. It almost feels like it forms a mask on my skin. So you can see the tint does look a little bit like gray beige, but once it's on my face, it perfectly blends out. And it does feel really, really thick when it's going on because it's got 22.5% zinc oxide. And what's great about this is that it really does kind of set down to a natural but slightly dewy finish. I just find that every mineral sunscreen I try that's SPF 50 inevitably ends up making my skin look super wet looking. And in the warmer months, when I have more kind of combo, slightly oily skin, I don't want my skin to look any more wet than it already does. So it's really nice to have found a sunscreen that just is not overly dewy or wet looking and still has a high concentration of zinc, that has those iron oxides, that's totally fragrance and essential oil free, and it's a pretty affordable brand that you can get on Amazon. The only thing I will say is if you have deeper skin than I have, I just can't be confident that this is going to be transparent on you, but I just love that it never stings my skin. It never breaks me out. It doesn't look too wet looking. It just, because it's thick, takes a little bit longer to rub in, but honestly, that's the only con here. And so this is by far my favorite sunscreen for the summertime and a totally random brand that I've never heard of. So the rest of the skincare I keep pretty much the same. I don't use any other different serums or moisturizers, cleansers, anything like that. And I also don't change my hair care at all. So I'm not going to be showing any hair products. I just do the same old shit. But I am going to talk about base now. In the warmer months, I hate wearing foundation. I don't like anything that I have to cover all on my face, down my neck. I don't like that feeling, especially when it's hot. Ugh, there's nothing worse than that. So what I do instead is I pretty much only wear my Colourpop Pretty Fresh Concealer as a base. I do this in all my videos. In fact, if you want to know what makeup I'm wearing, I'll put a get ready with me link above, and I applied this as my base so you can see it fully in action there. But it is just beautiful. You know, it's this solid medium coverage concealer that looks so beautifully skin-like. It's not dewy, it's not matte, it just looks like skin. Because it's Colourpop, it's a pretty affordable brand. This comes in a ton of shades. Mine is light 40N, and even though I don't like it under the eyes, I just think it's the perfect base. I just dot a little bit on my face, just a tiny bit on my neck to make sure it matches, and it just feels like I'm wearing absolutely nothing and it lasts all day. It's my favorite base product. Seriously, it's my favorite one, even more than the Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. I love this. For concealer, can you guess? I'm sure you can guess. It's the Fitglow Concealer. This is in the shade C2.5. I'm probably on tube number like 13 at this point in my life. I use this every day. It's by far my favorite concealer. It's great in the winter time because it has their eye cream ingredients. So if your skin's a little bit more dehydrated or dry, it really just like plumps up those under eyes. But what's great about it in the spring and summer months is it has this tacky quality to it. So it stays where you put it versus some of my other concealers that are on the more blendable, stretchable side. When I'm sweating or if my skin's a little bit more oily, those can just wipe right off my face. They can slide right off. I lose my coverage and then it's like, why did I even put that on in the first place? With Fitglow, you don't have that. And that's why it's just been my number one concealer for 4 years, ever since I tried it. Nothing can ever beat it. It also has antibacterial properties, so you can use it on blemishes. It's an eye cream mixed with mineral pigments, so I feel like it just makes my skin look really good. It also has an almost blurring finish to it. I'm wearing it under my eyes today. I have 100 million videos where you can watch me apply it. It has a nice shade range that's beautifully balanced, and it's the best thing I've ever used. I love that I don't have to worry about it slipping and sliding all over my face, especially in the warmer months. months. And if you want to get 20% off Fitglow, you can always use my code KATE20, and that's a permanent coupon code. You can always use it. It is an affiliate code, so I will earn commission from it, just so you know. Okay, next, my favorite bronzer in the summer months is the Makeup by Mario Skin Enhancer, which is pretty much non-existent at this point. You know, for whatever reason, I have this like backwards mentality when it comes to bronzers. In the winter months, for whatever reason, I always reach for powders, and then in the spring and summer months, I always reach for this. And I'm not sure why. You would think it would be the other way around, where my skin's a little bit more dehydrated in the winter. You'd think I would reach for something a little bit more emollient. I don't know. This is just how I do it. And I don't really need to read into it that much further, but this is my favorite bronzer. The second I took this back out in spring, I was just reminded that I really shouldn't reach for anything else. I'm wearing this all over my face right now, and I just think it's so sheer that you can't mess it up. I'm someone who tends to really overdo it on bronzer, and I look back on videos, even recent videos, where I'm using powder bronzers, and I'm just like, oh, you went so overboard. Why are you doing that? But with this, I never go overboard, and that's why I love it. I have like 4 layers of this on, and it still looks so skin-like. And despite the fact that it's like a very wet feeling, wet looking balm formula, it just doesn't make my skin look too oily or too wet. I can easily control it with powder. It's phenomenal. I love it so much. If I could only own one bronzer, it would be this. I think it's fantastic. Next, I have blush. And currently, I'm going to talk about my favorite blush combo that I'm wearing today. Cannot stop wearing this. The Persona DreamStick in the shade Bloom. I have it underneath another one I'm going to talk about, which is Saie's Peach Glow. This is the perfect peachy pink blush for spring. It's in a beautiful cream formula. It has a slightly dewy finish, so I do need to powder over it a little bit, especially in areas close to my nose. And for those of you that don't love a dewy finish in a cream blush, instead of swiping this on your face and then blending, which will give you all of that dew, just apply this to a brush and then apply that to your face. And I find that the brush kind of absorbs a little bit of that dewy quality. So I'm left with more of the color that I want and not as much of the dewiness. Also, if I still feel like it's looking a little dewy, I'll just take a tissue and I'll gently pat that away before I powder. And that's how I'm able to customize this to the kind of formula that I really like in a cream blush. And I do have a 10% off affiliate code with Persona, which is KATE10. What I'm wearing on top of Persona's Bloom is the new Saie Glow Sculpt in Peach Glow. This is, I also am wearing a highlighter, but you can see it's really not too glowy. It's just a beautiful, beautiful, like bright peachy coral, like peachy orangey coral. It is just so emollient and so beautiful. It's basically like the MAC cream color bases, but to me in a much more emollient formula. I felt like the MAC cream color bases were a bit stiff and a bit dry. These are so much creamier and more blendable, but there's still that kind of cream powder hybrid formula. And as you can see here, there's really no visible glitter particles. It's not matte, it's not too dewy, it's just perfect. And what's amazing about formulas like this that are more cream powder hybrids is that you get the skin-like quality of a cream, but you get the longevity of a powder and the control of a powder. So it's not something that just like blends all over your face like a liquid and then all of a sudden you end up with product all over the place, but it's not dry and potentially chalky or patchy like a powder. So cream powder hybrid formulas are by far my favorite for cheek products. And by the way, I am also loving all of the shades here from this line except for Quartz Glow. So if you'd like to see a review on them, I will leave that linked on the screen above. Speaking of cream powder hybrid formulas, another spring and summer staple is the MAC Glow Play Blush and Heat Index. This is, oh, the red coral of my dreams. It's like got a little bit of pink in there too. It's just like the perfect flush of color. I mean, doesn't that color just make you so happy? That's what it looks like up close. It's just stunning, and you get that kind of bouncy formula that we love. Compared to Saie Glow Sculpt, this is definitely more powdery and more matte, as you saw, whereas Saie Glow Sculpt is more of like a cream that has a little bit of a powder mixed into it, I think. I don't really know how the formulas work. I'm just going by the way that they feel texturally. I just love wearing this like a bright pop on the cheeks. I'll take a little bit, I'll dab it on my lips, add a clear gloss, like a bronzy gold eye. Oof, so good. Another one I just cannot stop reaching for is the Kulfi Mehndi Moment Long Wearing Cream Blush in the shade Pinky Promise. This is just another warm, corally pink that was made for spring and summer, and it's everything that I want. Comes in a little squeezy tube, which I don't usually love because they can be so messy, like the Glossier Cloud Paints, but this is kind of a stiffer cream. It's a little thicker, so it's a lot easier to get control. You don't feel like you're squeezing out a ton of product and then you're wasting a ton. And then once you blend it in, it completely really melts into this very, very emollient formula. So that's what Pinky Promise looks like. Just my perfect pinky coral for the warmer months. And this formula is incredible. So it melts onto the skin. As you saw, it does get, you know, pretty thin, even though it starts out as a thick cream, and it just sets down on the skin while still remaining very skin-like and slightly dewy. It is one of the most long-lasting, if not the most lasting cream blush I've ever tried. Absolutely incredible. I'm just loving it. And the last blush color that I reach for specifically in the spring and summer months is the M Cosmetics So Soft blush in the shade Strawberry. Oof, that's what I'm talking about. It's similar in color to the MAC Glow Play blush and Heat Index, but I think this one's a little bit more strawberry and Glow Play is a little bit more like coral. So on my hand, I have the M Cosmetics So Soft blush in strawberry. We have Kulfi Pinky Promise here, and then MAC Glow Play and Heat Index here. What can I say? I have a type. The M Cosmetics So Soft formula is definitely one of the best cream stick products I've ever tried because it has this almost like soft, blurred matte kind of soft focused finish on the skin, but in a formula that is super emollient and like blends away in a second. I don't know how they did it. It's really quite remarkable. It's definitely my favorite stick cream product that I've ever tried. And what I like is that they also come in bronzers and contours and lots of other blush colors. I'm eyeing the shade Venetian Rose right now. I might get my hands on that. But for summer, strawberry is such a win. And it's super, super pigmented. So it would definitely work on a lot of different skin tones. I did skip all of my favorite year-round blush favorites like my Charlotte Tilbury Matte Wand and Pillow Talk, Phytosurgence Evaporate, MAC Glow Play in Blush Please. And I'm also skipping highlighters because none of those change for me according to the seasons. I always wear the same highlighters year round. I do just want to talk about powder. So the Fitglow powder is by far the most heavy duty one that I have, but it also still feels so skin-like and so light and soft. It's incredible. I've been told that it's very similar to the By Terry powder, but I haven't tried that one, so I can't compare it for you. And it's just the softest, finest powder I have ever tried. Never makes my skin look dry or cakey like a lot of other powders can. It does have hyaluronic acid in it and it has a blurring quality, so it just smooths over your skin. It looks incredible. Just like any other powder, if I apply too much, I can get a little bit of the dry feeling on my skin, but the difference between this and other powders is that this doesn't ever make my skin look dry. So I just use a light hand and it blurs everything. It mattifies my skin. It keeps it pretty much locked in place for several hours, and it's by far my favorite. I'm gonna take a break from makeup to very quickly talk about my favorite perfumes. I'm skipping my year-round favorites, like all my vanilla ones, because I wear those year-round, and I'm just focusing on the really spring and summery ones that are more floral, more fruity, more sunscreeny and beachy. And my most worn fragrance in the warmer months is Ellis Brooklyn Sunfruit. God, I love this. Oh, one of the best things I've ever smelled. It's sour. Like it's not sour, that sounds bad. It's like tart, which makes my mouth water. It's like tart fig with cool, creamy coconut and fruit like pears and citrus, but it also has, I think, some musk in there. It must have a little bit of vanilla in there as well. It's just beautifully balanced. It's also a little bit floral. There's definitely some floral notes, but they smell like tropical floral notes, so it just smells like goddamn summer in a bottle. By far my favorite summer fragrance. I wear it honestly almost every day. I have to force myself to wear something else. And by the way, I do have a massive perfume video where I reviewed every single perfume that I own, and I'll leave that linked on the screen above. It's old, but I really haven't bought any other perfumes since then because I found so many that I love. I don't really need anything else. My next favorite perfume is Vacation Inc.'s signature scent. This is just one of the best smells ever. They wanted to create the sort of nostalgic scent memory of sunscreen when you're a kid, like copper tone sunscreen or something like that. So if my memory serves correctly, there's notes of banana and coconut. There's also lycra, like swimsuit lycra, and pool toy, so like plastic. It just smells like summer. It just smells like childhood summer memories. It's the best sunscreen scent I've ever tried. You know, I have Bobbi Brown Beach, I have Tom Ford Soleil Blanc, I have Replica Beach Walk, I have a ton of sunscreen scents, and I think this one is the most special. I do think that with any kind of like spring and summer perfume, they tend to be lighter and they tend to wear a lot faster. So just so you know, these do require a little bit of reapplication throughout the daytime time, but I don't mind that. And you know, all of these perfumes, these are all travel sizes, which is great, except Vacation Ink, and you can get a tiny little travel pack on their website. So there are options for all of these if you don't want to buy a full bottle, which is great. Next is Skylar's Coconut Cove. Oh, I love this one. If you want a coconut scent that isn't super young smelling or super sweet or like kind of like candy coconut, if you want something that's more like musky, creamy, skin-like, this one's the way to go. It's absolutely fantastic. I think there's some white florals in there. There's definitely musk, but it's not musk in a way that like burns my nose or is super astringent. It's musk in a way that just really balances it out. It's clean, it's fresh, it's coconutty, it's skin-like, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Oh man, a tried and true fave. Ooh, God, I love that. Damn, I've got to sit here for a second and enjoy that. DS and Durga Debaser. So damn good. If you like a fig scent, but you don't want Ellis Brooklyn Sunfruit, which is more like lots of fruit, lots of florals, coconut, and fig, you want something that's kind of honing in on the fig, but in a very green way, Debaser is the way to go. It is green stems, like green plants, green fields, to me, with juicy, juicy figs that are just like melting in the sun. Those are the two notes I can smell. Just like melting figs and green, green, green stems, and maybe with some musk in there as well. I love this. This is a travel size. I think it's $70, so it's the most expensive out of all of these. But also on the DS and Durga website, they do sell little sample sizes for, I think you can get 5 at a time. So you can try this before you buy it if you want. And this is just another one that screams summer. And my last spring and summer favorite perfume is Diptyque's L'Ombre dans l'Eau. This is the perfume version of Baie, spelled B-A-I-E-S, which is their, I think their best-selling candle. It just smells like berries and green stems. And this is exactly the same. You get that beautiful, rich black currant, and it just is mouth-wateringly delicious, but it's also combined with like a little bit of green freshness and also rose. I don't remember what kind of rose. There's like damask rose, Bulgarian rose. I'm not sure, but it's just like roses, black currants, and green stems. Beautifully balanced, not too floral, not too fruity. It is just, it's such a romantic fragrance. I love it. Okay, back to the makeup. In the spring and summer months, I switch out my Glossier, shit, how do I open this? Come on, there it is. My Glossier Monochromes in Almond, and I switch it out for Teak. Teak is just a lot warmer and a lot richer. Beautiful, beautiful, deep, rich, warm, bronzy shades. Unfortunately, I don't love the formula of these. Really the kind of color that is great for blue eyes to pop them. And I'll do some hand swatches for you as well. I do have a link to the Glossier Monochromes review, and I'll put that on the screen above. I have some issues with the product overall, but I still reach for 2 of the shades all the time. So that's Teak. You have the matte, the metallic, and then the shimmer, I think. And as you can see, there's not a ton of variation throughout the shades, but I don't really mind that. I'm actually wearing this on my lower lash line today, although it may have faded a little bit throughout the day, but this is just my absolute favorite palette for the summer months. Okay, the next 2 are eyeshadows that are very much year-round favorites for me, but I just had to include them because they are a little bit more summer appropriate. Nothing for me beats this eyeshadow crayon in terms of the formula and the color. It's the Vieve Eye Wand in the shade Camel. It's so creamy and so pigmented, but it gives you plenty of time to blend it before it sets, and then once it sets, it does not budge. It's this beautiful kind of peachy, warm brown shade. It works really beautifully with my blue eyes. Just one of the best products I've ever tried, and I really want to pick up more shades. Similarly, I reached for the Violette Dew paint. This one is a little more neutral, although it might have a little bit more of like a, what is it? Yeah, there's a little bit more of like a rosiness to it. So Vieve Camel over here is a little bit like peachier, whereas Violette Dew paint in To Do is a little bit more rosy, like rosy brown. Both incredibly easy to blend, both very pigmented, and both of these set down and absolutely do not budge. So when my lids are a little bit dewier in the spring and summer months, it will not budge with these eyeshadows, and I absolutely love them. So had to talk about them, even though they are daily year-round favorites. And then my favorite Phytosurgeon's eyeshadow is definitely one that I wear more in spring and summer. It is Astral Atmosphere. It is just like the peachy pink of my dreams. It's by far my favorite Phytosurgeon's eyeshadow. It's this gorgeous, like thin, emollient, like hard pressed balm that's very, very blendable with fingers and then sets down and doesn't budge. And it has a layer of glitter in there too. So it's very multidimensional. It's honestly, I'm trying to swatch it for you, and it's honestly like really, really hard to pick up in a swatch, but I hope you can see it's just a gorgeous, subtle, very, very natural kind of rose gold, like kind of pinky peach color. It's just so easy to use. It's so romantic. Anything that has a little bit of like pink in there, I just always feel is very romantic. So perfect for the season. The eyeshadow I'm wearing today is the Chantecaille eye shade. I think it's the luminescent eye shade in the shade Golden Copper or Lion. This is what it looks like. And the second the weather starts getting warmer, I bust this bad boy out. She is gold and warm and bronzy and stunning. I'll get up close for you here. I've had it on for a few hours, so hopefully there's no creasing, but it is just a really pretty color. I especially love wearing this eyeshadow with what I'm wearing today, which is like peachy cheek and a peachy lip. It's just so beautiful. Definitely a forever favorite for me. Similarly, when it starts getting hot, I always bust out my tried and true MAC Wood Winked. Such an underrated shadow. I feel like people don't talk about MAC shadows anymore, but they should because they're still awesome. In MAC Wood Winked, I remember Tanya Burr first introduced me to MAC Wood Winked, and I remember her saying, which I will never forget, that this looks like two eyeshadows in one. It looks like one shade on your lid and then you blend it in the crease and it looks like another shade, and that sold me on it, and it's so true, and it still stands up and still holds up for being so beautiful, so multidimensional. And I've swatched them for you here. So on the end we have Chantecaille's Golden Copper or Lion, and then we have MAC Wood Winked here. And see how here it kind of looks a little more yellowy gold peachy, and then here it looks totally different. It's just transformative. And then when it's indirect light, it looks so much darker. Direct kind of shiny light there, it looks totally different. It's just like three eyeshadow colors in one. Absolutely one of my all-time favorite eyeshadows. I just think it's the best. It's like the definition of a one and done shadow. Something that makes it look like you spent a lot more work than you did. So good. Lastly, for eyeshadows, my Kaja eyeshadow trios. My absolute daily staples are Chocolate Dahlia, Rose Water, Forest Night. Shoot, I'm forgetting some of my other favorites, but I swapped them out for Toasted Caramel and Spiked Ginger, which isn't to say that I don't wear those colors anymore, but in summertime, I just always reach for these shades. This is what Spiked Ginger looks like on my fingers. You can see some really beautiful, slightly warm matte browns, and then the middle shade is just like a gorgeous kind of coppery peach. And then right here, we have Toasted Caramel. Definitely a little bit more on the yellowy side, as the name would suggest. And swatched on the back of my hand, we have Toasted Caramel right here, which is an all glitter trio. And then we have Spiked Ginger right here, which is a lot rosier, a lot more copper. If you want to see me apply about 10 different Kaja eyeshadow trios, I'll leave a video linked above so you can see a lot of shade comparisons. But these formulas are fantastic. The mattes are creamy and easy to blend. They aren't too dry and chalky. They aren't too pigmented. They aren't patchy. The metallics are really easy to use, especially if you pick them up with your finger. I rarely find fallout with these, even the glitter toppers, especially with the ones that have more variation. Those are the ones that I prefer. I love the mix of matte metallics and the glitter toppers, but they're all beautiful. Absolutely love them. And lastly, all of my summer lip product essentials. I'm going to start with one that's relatively new to my channel, the Romand Lasting Melting Balms. Oh, they're so good. They're like the Charlotte Tilbury Happy Kiss lipstick balms, which are my holy grail lipstick formula, but at a more affordable price point and with a fruity scent. So you get that like melty kind of product. As you can see here, very much melty, gets a little bit messy. But unlike the Charlotte Tilbury Happy Kiss bombs, you can actually twist these back down. So if you over twist the product, you're not gonna end up with like a bunch of mess or a bunch of wasted product. These are so pigmented, so glossy and bouncy and comfortable and cushiony and thick and nourishing. Oof, I love these. They're so good. I loved them so much when I first initially bought 3 shades. I ended up buying 3 more shades and I'm happy with all of them. I love them so much. This is definitely going to be featured in my upcoming glossy, melty lipstick thingy video. Oh, I think I forgot to mention this was the color Sorbet Balm, a very beautiful kind of bright peachy pink. Next, I've been reaching for the Innbeauty Lip Glaze and Fruit Punch nonstop since I got it. It's it's very sheer, so you really won't see that much color. And because it is, you know, a gloss, like kind of a cross between an oil and a gloss, you don't want to apply too much because it can get a little bit gloopy. So I would build it up to here max. So just go into it knowing that you're not going to get like crazy pigment from this. It's just a sheer flush of peach, and it smells like summer in a gloss. It smells like Capri Sun. I loved Capri Sun when I was a kid, and so smelling it just makes me really happy. I feel like summer has the best scent memories for me. You know, when you smell something that reminds you of a happy memory from your childhood, it just kind of like totally fills you with this rush of joy. And that's what I get when I smell fruit punch. So I love it because of the formula and color, but I also even more love it because of the scent. The lip product I've been wearing in this video is the M Cosmetics Lip Cushion in Magic Hour. Stunning peachy pink. That definitely leans a little bit more in the peach side for me, so I love reaching for it when the weather is a little bit warmer. It's another one of those incredibly beautiful, cushiony, glossy, melty formulas that's thick and nourishing, and it's basically like a lip treatment with pigment. And so also another one could be featured in my kind of like melty lipstick video. These are just fantastic, and Magic Hour is perfect. Another one from M Cosmetics I don't really hear anyone talk about are the Velvet Lip Creams, and my favorite shade for the summer months is the shade Flutter. Oh, wait till you look at this. It is like a hot strawberry. Flutter actually perfectly matches their blush in strawberry, so I do like to wear those two together. And Flutter is just a hot, hot neon strawberry red. It is so punchy and vibrant and summery and gorgeous. These have like maybe ever so softly something sweet smelling, but it's really subtle. I can barely tell. This formula of the Velvet Lip Creams is stunning. It is super creamy and it's totally matte, but it doesn't feel matte. It's just creamy and beautiful on the lips. I actually find the MAC Powder Kiss liquid lipsticks to be a bit drying, but these are not. And they have an almost soft focus effect on the lips. They kind of smooth over the lip lines, which is very difficult for a matte product. So if you're looking for a kind of liquid lip that's matte, but you want something creamy and non-drying, personally, I think the M Cosmetics Velvet Lip Creams are the best, alongside with the Sunny Space Lip Dips. If you've paid any amount of attention to my channel in the past several months, you would know that basically my favorite gloss ever now is the Omni Collet Lip Treatment in Bliss. And now that the weather is getting warmer, I'm reaching for Bliss less and I'm reaching for Smitten more. In the tube, it looks like a very, very hot reddish pink, but on the lips, it really is more of like a sheer flush of hot neon pink. It has a really delicious vanilla or maybe even cotton candy scent. It's a Black-owned beauty brand that you can get at Sephora. It is so thick and nourishing and cushiony. It just feels incredible on the lips. And also due to the formula, it smooths over lip lines. So it has this glass-like shine that makes the lips appear more youthful. Just one of my absolute favorite formulas. Another pink gloss I really love is the Vieve Cosmetics Lip Dew in the shade Cherub. This is so nice. It's kind of like a cross between a liquid lip balm and like a lip gloss. So it's comfortable, it's thick, it's nourishing. It's just a beautiful formula, and you get this gorgeous, hot, warm pink color that is so flattering in the summertime. They smell a little bit like caramel, although it does smell a little bit artificial to me, which is a bummer, but I think the formula is beautiful and it just looks so gorgeous on the lips. I like that on this one, they didn't shy away from pigment. The other lip dews from Vieve are a little bit too sheer for me. Pesca and Rosa like almost have no color, but this one does pack a little bit of a punch, which I prefer. In the summertime, I swap out my Fitglow lip serums in, you know, Gospel, Nudie, Buff, all of those, and instead I reach for ones like Beach Glow and Nice. I was wearing a little bit of Nice on my lips in the beginning of this video, and I will swatch it for you now. It's a very soft, creamy, peachy pink, or creamy, like peachy, pinky coral. So that right there is the Fitglow lip serum in the shade Nice. It's a little bit pink, it's a little bit peach, it has a little bit of red. It's just stunning, and that's just next to M Cosmetics Flutter. So it's perfect for the warmer months. And of course with Fitglow, you're getting that incredibly nourishing formula that's super hydrating, that helps with your lips moisture barrier. It has plant sterols, it has pomegranate sterols, it has all these organic plant extracts, tons and tons of ingredients that actually help with the quality of your lips and the quality of your skin, while also having mineral pigment. And it has this gorgeous gel-like cushiony lip formula. Absolutely beautiful. Just one of my all-time favorites. Okay, now we're moving into more lipstick, traditional lipstick products, and I have two from L'Oreal, the Volume Matte line, that's a recent addition to L'Oreal, and my two favorites are 193 and 173. 193 is the one that I just cannot stop reaching for. Online, it was described as a cool red, but this to me is pretty orange. I don't know. I don't know if I would describe that as a cool red. It does look very bright and vivid, but it does look like it's a little bit warmer to me. But maybe that's because I have cool skin, so it looks warmer on me? I'm not sure. Beautiful formula. It is creamy, but it's totally matte. I love the slimmer bullet because I do have smaller lips, so it's easier for me to get a more precise line. It doesn't get too messy. It's also L'Oreal, so it's a little bit more affordable than some of these other options. The only thing is I don't love the scent. It's got that like gross, that like floral, slightly fruity, but mostly floral scent. Oof, I can't smell that anymore. That really bums me out. It's just like not my favorite. Luckily, the scent does dissipate after a while, but it's quite strong at first, so heads up if you don't like that. And right next to 193, we have 173, which is La Rose Activist. And this one is just a beautiful, beautiful, warm rose color. So great as more of like a youthful, brightening, romantic shade. These are just bold, matte lipsticks done right. They're so comfortable and the colors are beautiful. And I did apply every single shade on a YouTube Shorts, so I'll leave that linked on the screen above. And if I ran out of links, I will put them in the description box. Okay, the last two I have are very similar. We have the Nabla Beyond Jelly lipstick in the shade Blooming. So funny, my whole YouTube career here, I never reached for reds. Like I'm just not a red girl. And then all of a sudden, boom, these products have been launching that for some reason are just like the red I've never found. So that is Blooming from Nabla. They feel exactly like the Glossier Ultra Lips, very stiff, and you kind of build them up and build them up, and as they build, they melt. And so then you get more of that glossy effect. They're very thick, comfortable, nourishing, like a lipstick meets a balm. And the Nabla Beyond Jelly lipsticks do have a lovely kind of creamy coconut scent, which is really nice for summer. And then next to that one, I'm gonna swatch a similar one, which is Chantecaille's Lip Chic in the shade Poppy. Sorry, Wild Poppy. And so we have Wild Poppy on the end here, which to me is a little bit more pink. And then Blooming is a little more like red orange, I think, but they're very, very similar. And also almost identical formulas as well. These Chantecaille Lip Chics have a higher price point. They do have more colors and they have a lovely, wonderful vanilla scent that I love, but it's very subtle. They are a stiffer kind of formula, but they melt upon contact with the lips. Absolutely beautiful. Even though I was gonna make my video, the like melty glossy video, all about just products that are like melty and that ClickUp formula, I think I might include some stiffer glossy formulas like this just because they're so wonderful, but the formulas are great. These colors are wonderful for summer. I can't stop reaching for them. That's it. Those are all of my summer beauty essentials. I hope you enjoyed this. I would love to know if you have any beauty essentials that you particularly only really reach for in the summertime like these. And I'm looking for a pinky coral glossy lip product. I cannot find the right shade that I'm looking for anywhere. I don't want it to be too orangey or peachy coral. I don't want too red coral. I'm looking for something that is like a pink coral. So if you know of a really good pink coral, drop it in the comment section below. I've got my eyes out. Actually, I think I'm looking for a dupe mostly of Tom Ford's lipstick in True Coral, but in a gloss form. So let me know if you have any recommendations for that, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I appreciate every single one of you, and I hope you're having a great day.